Welcome to our first training event.
To know the advances in autonomous schools.
I'm here to collaborate with the organization with the external consultant.
We think autonomy has a right
national level, but on local level we can put in money.
For example, we can make our own educational program.
Or by the regional autonomy.
With regard to costs, in England, so that you've got a flavour, because it is so very different. And I issue and training methodology that expect.
But why decentralized? The principle of decentralization in education is just the difference of my school, the other school, the same. But you have the same.
In a lot of countries, head teachers have done what they have been told. But we know best about the
Paper with our email, our telephone numbers if we need. I have it, but it's a paper with all groups.
Not just one, but 2 or 3, as we discuss later. I know. This as
little villages whose schools were closing. Seven. Oh, right.
Well, the headmaster has to listen, has to evaluate the practice.
You need passion. You look the people in their eyes and you say, hey, hello.
And I think we've done it wrong at the time. I think it lasted a long time.
About online teachers training, the name is Trent.
vision. It's research in our school to see if we do it.
I get killed because it's not political correct.
Students, giving them opportunities to take part in different subjects.
Board on the wall, you find the desk, teachers.
Small video, just 1 minute video, a trailer, to get the idea of...
as school works.
But no, in Portugal we have a new way of organizing schools.
So, it's hard, but life is hard.
They are here, but all votes for yes, you remain in the same groups.
Yes. Recent project, they have for data kids, it's a way of the students.
The third cycle is lower secondary.
They have not information.
Project
You are going to listen to me a lot.
Supervisory Council. Each school has a supervisory council.
We can see, since we have 2 different types of education, we will need to...
Hoje trabalha-se ao nível da comunidade intermunicipal Viseu de Lafões, que são os 14 municípios.
They would like to have a more open...
Do you think that is important to have different approaches to where everyone and next
way to Zamość you experience from yesterday and the day before yesterday are...
And we at Edu4, we have 6 schools around Edu4.
The indicators that each one uses and is...
Asked me to give a presentation of sorts back to
Do different things.
Since this project began.
Yeah, it's the first year in that school for most of them.
Very good and many information.
If the teacher is not very good,
specific competence of some teacher. When we do the project,
So when we're looking at all those things, we use a whole variety of indicators. So we might have pupil voice.
But then one day the inspection came into the school
And they visited 60 lessons. Has an indicator with maintenance of the building, about cleanliness, or it's also based on the educational project of the school.
We will be focused on just one, that is the ICT effort that the school
No,
does.
I have taken that here. Note.
Here in this place, we have some changes for next days. What is very important?
Advisory Center.
Więc w związku z tym, że my jesteśmy i gminą, i powiatem, poprowadzimy od przedszkola do aż...
Example of chess lessons, yeah, so or some sports activities, or yeah, something connected with
How to manage a classroom with 30
show them the image on the whiteboard. No, it's not a good answer. The good answer is answer C. And they can copy the answers to the book.
And we have a day in here, then we don't have lessons.
To learn it ourselves. The most important thing that the school has a network.
We want to come here another because I think the continuity of the person is very important.
The delay from south...
School success depend on. Of course, we have various answers, and I suppose we have discussed some of them.
W sali, w której zawsze odbywały się posiedzenia Rady Miasta od XVII wieku.
Most important people from European educational institutions.
Employment market, employers to the education.
Przez 3 lata pracujemy w takim właśnie projekcie dla dyrektorów szkół z kilku krajów europejskich.
Ilość stanowisk wtedy jest. Każde dziecko siedzi samodzielnie przy komputerze.
For the speaking results or behavior.
Stimulate the school, you know, to make it warmer, a warmer building.
It's simply new, and we still think that it's the best school in the region, right? So that's why, well, there was no other choice.
And we are different. I'm a teacher training center. We are heretofore. I have 6 headmasters from my.
Are you innovating? Is there movement in your staff, in your school?
Not being afraid of confronting something that you know isn't going right.
The ways to evaluate that is to practice.
There is a problem of efficacy. It may be the time of speech if we talk about 3 hours. We need to do.
Natomiast w tle macie Państwo wszystkich uczestników, którzy dotarli do Zamościa przed tygodniem.
And to share some information inside Portugal in this group in the manual city is usual.
Z przedstawicielem
Muras. Another partner is Polish partner.
Very green.
Bardzo zielona dookoła, zadbane otoczenie.
A good, as Daniel said previously, this is the 4th training event, and the project is from a whole perspective.
So the previous question that Anya asked was, what are the things that you liked here in Poland and you would like to implement on your local ground?
What we want to propose you are mainly 3 things for the work that we will be doing together. Evaluate the community. How do they get voices from parents, from pupils? They can be open questions. Yes, we have already these, but
We have
some
information about. We have a law. We have a
law,
common law, who give us some directions and areas and.
Who wants to start?
And where is my evidence? So this is a teaching, learning, and assessment audit. We looked at books and data analysis and lesson plans and pupil voice.
Problems or
somehow. Both. It's very important to see that there are many pupils going to from the
school activities, teaching methods, techniques, group work or project work. And the third is educational competence, for example, communication.
In Portugal, all of the schools have the same external evaluation. It's a model. All of our schools.
Porque así el salario en Portugal bajaron también 20%.
Sim, e outra?
Os colaboradores trabalham nisso.
What are your assessment of the study?
I like to study here because we have a lot of good teachers, and we have here bachillerato too, so we don't have to move to another high school.
Countries and a topic. So, for example, this year was youth violence and crime. So, in pairs, the students were assigned a country.
Un PowerPoint, una presentación de las enseñanzas que se imparten en este centro y luego vamos a hacer una visita a todos los talleres.
Some questionnaires for all teachers at the school, and they answer, they pass.
The educational responsibility of public administrations belongs to the autonomous communities, in this case Madrid. But the town hall have a main responsibility.
Excellent section, because it's a project about thinking about the success of a school. Have headmaster, have administrative staff.
I mean, for personal attention.
Aquí tenemos tres niveles: formación profesional básica, forestal.
The project shows me, but shows any of our broadcasts.
Okay, I decided to use OneNote. I don't know if you know Microsoft OneNote, because you can
back for a little while and see how things are going, and then start to choose the right schools.
Evaluation of the headmaster, because there is a risk. They can say, what does he want to do
in the community of teaching? Our school, it's very very hard.
Evaluation question should be
More time with students and the teachers.
The event was to the next training event. Everyone has a thing that wants to improve.
Our relation with these people is important.
In your country, you do something in journal and in some communication. Please give me that kind of thought, that kind of information.
All teams are coming to Warsaw at Saturday. Or Sunday.
The way school communicates with the community.
The next year, the Ministry of Education in Portugal preparing to have 20% or 25% of autonomy in curriculum.
But I think in the UK we have a lot of small schools, and so it's the people to do it.
And you have to find a way how you can.
We try to be according to the partners as interesting as possible with the different.
It had a date of 1940s to 1960s that he was.
At the moment, we have time.
You can if you wish, but I don't want to take.
Oh yes, but
Very important. The setting direction, a shared vision.
Forming that each group has developed is.
Always nice to see pictures like this. You see them in every country.
Hank already said most of our students are at CADA, so that's level.
Education, but you are told.
Each school seemed to have some general aims, plus individual plans that was specific to each school. So they had, in the Signum they had broad aims for all the schools, but then Miriam was able to take that away.
Management, the space, there is a very good organization of spaces, because spaces are managed, organized in a way of fitting the school aims.
All are involved, parents, students, teachers, stakeholders. And point two, collaborative practices. Two teachers in a classroom helping each other in Miriam.
With the students, with the pupils, follow their development and look at all on the distance. This is true that the leadership is in one place and observe all this relationship with the past.
Per questo è un progetto che ormai va avanti da tempo insieme all'Istituto Agrario.
Iniziamo come prima cosa per darvi anche il benvenuto con un video che vi introdurrà a quelle che sono le bellezze della nostra
paper that we can put the ideas in this board.
By the government and financed by the central administration, and the half by the parents and the half by the government, the Generalitat, because
can be during 3 weeks or 4 weeks. After that, after this first moment, there is a teacher for this class, another teacher for this class, another teacher for this class, because we have 3 classes.
The more important to give the same opportunity. The school is open all day, because in this area no other opportunity. We have the project. This is the
Tourism curriculum course, however, prepared science curriculum, accompanied by a set of textbooks, and needs this kind of change. Okay?
Continue up to the yellow letter.
The national program is described. So I hope you think also
the Ministry of Education created people more school success program launched between May and June 2009.
Allora, buongiorno e cercherò di illustrare brevemente.
Our best to have good schools, okay? Good methods of teaching and learning, and to improve our methods.
Okay, what we can decide is the possibility to organize how to teach.
Knowledge, attitudes and values that help them make choices that are appropriate to their health, physical, social and mental well-being. So this is the guidelines of the government.
And the way that a child's writing was assessed changed. So across all the, sorry, I can slow down. Across all the elements of writing, grammar, punctuation, content,
acquiring the skills, knowledge and values.
Also to comment that sometimes we are thinking about attitudes. For instance, and I will be making a point using the Rosa's presentation. What do you give more whom?
So
What do
maybe
you
the specialist says you must do
prioritize?
5 hours in maths.
Instruments like tests or whatever. What should they assess? They will ways to link them, because you are right, we cannot.
Disadvantages to this are we found it's too extensive in all our countries. There's too much to learn within the given objective level.
Be autonomous to search information for themselves,
to learn the competence to work in groups, cooperative learning, to speak with audience, oral fluency, can add projects.
Although they can't be measurable, maybe that's not always about like, soft outcomes rather than hard evidence. But the competencies, based curriculum.
Based curriculum. Working to self-success is usually the rule in objective-based curriculum, though it has been mentioned differently as well. But for
à les enfants de la classe première.
Questa signora è un assessore del comune di Casalbordino dove ci troviamo.
She's an assessor of the town hall here in Casalbordino. Social part.
There is a special prize for you.
What we offer our groups is to make connections with people. I don't know if in the future we have a product for you when you're going in other schools, because the connection network that we try to involve here. Our password and put this information. What's that? The country, when you choose your school, appears the country, appears the name of the institution, because I have it. Appears the PIN number, because I have your PIN number, not everything.
Imprenditoriale, la famosa cultura d'impresa, il notaio, l'apertura del conto corrente e poi alla fine il negozio online dove i ragazzi comprano e vendono.
Però abbiamo anche i laboratori e nel caso specifico di matematica, anche se c'erano in classe i docenti di matematica.
La prima fase con la progettazione a mano.
È la nostra referente per l'inclusione in questa scuola e noi lavoriamo tantissimo sull'inclusione, per cui vi può dare un quadro di come ci muoviamo in questo senso.
And it is very important, of course we have been visiting different areas of Vasto, and today there are different schools of Vasto area that are taking part in this celebration.
Our schools work together, discuss some issues. It's usual our headmasters discuss issues that try to make a new school, make a school for 20th century.
È che questa scuola, che è molto attiva sulla progettazione Erasmus, in 4 anni ha mandato a fare delle esperienze di mobilità all'estero da 1 a 3 mesi oltre 230 studenti.
Innovations, but we will do this at UK. Further, then go to Birmingham Fair.
Okay, I will first discuss this bill, and there were a lot of differences, but the first one was the goals is the only thing we really can't change.
Elena's example in her presentation on Monday with a science teacher and a Portuguese teacher in the classroom at the same time.
Okay, learning activities. We put some ideas in this, doing more practical activities, leaving the books in school.
I've put this on here. This is a project that we're doing in our school to intrinsically motivate children in the 5 R's: resilience, reflection, responsibility.
Teachers from your school want to go there 1 or 2 days. We provide training, we don't need to pay. It's for this group.
It is not the evaluation of the agenda of all the week, because there are so many parts of the week that we are not assessing. It's only for the class. O que ensinar
Que prioridades dar?
I think we have many opportunities to learn. Staying in schools helped me. So
it's very inspiring. But I miss, no, I'm not I miss, but the first day is very
The school visits were fabulous. Really enjoyed seeing children work. As teachers, we got a lot out of it. It was great. Perhaps it would have been because
simple thing, not a big thing, simple thing. I know in this experience that we have different system, different level of autonomy.
Our commitment to the project is to produce an end script, and the end script about good practice. So
that you say it's marvelous. You not say, oh, everything is okay, everything is okay. You say, we need more this, we need more that. All of you, thank you for all of you.
About 5%, it should be less, but there are opportunities also to gain experience without being employed.
What do you think can be improved in our school system?
Tradition, of course, from the 1830s onwards, we had votes introduced, but that was only if you were men who owned property.
So I followed by the Second Legion. And by around about 95 AD, Lincoln didn't need to be a legionary fortress anymore. So we don't know exactly how Roman Lincoln came to an end, but we know that by 627 we still have an established civic structure in Lincoln.
So in some aspects, so we have our groups that we have set up for intervention. So each term we look at the children's data, we look at how the children are doing, their progress, and we might look at particular groups of children that need an extra support with writing, or extra support with maths, or extra support with reading, and we would set those groups up and look at the timetable and look at
the little groups talk with each other with some issues.
And the entire reason that they said that they were successful was the accumulation of marginal gain. So what you won't get out of me today is any grand ideas. What I hope that I'll put across to you is that we've looked at every aspect of our school.
Okay, so a little bit about Bishop Burton College. We have around 3,000 students in total, and these vary across a range of qualifications that we offer.
The great part here is, because it still has the apprenticeship label to it, the companies that sponsor the students to do these apprenticeship programs can claim tax relief from the government.
Right, teacher. Private place for you, everything is in agenda in different places. Our idea, you are free in education show, but you can stay in group, but you will decide what you're doing.
And then on Thursday we can present it to you again to see if you all agree as we're speaking on your behalf. But we can also practice the spider web thing on Thursday because we might need more hands. It might be one of those things where it falls down or something. Choose the maths curriculum. We don't know what the future will be like, but we can do this.
tell you that the plough play goes back hundreds of years. And in the days of old, the workers on the farm, the plough boys,
And girls, set to come this way. Some can sing and some can dance. By your consent, they shall come.
Our course.
As part of one of the first projects that we run with our students, we have a storytelling project. And for some of them, this is the first chance.
Modules is called the Global Classroom. And this gives us a chance to teach our students about the world in their classroom, so diversity, the people who are reflected in their own classes, in their own schools.
And you want them to think about two sides of a point of view, perhaps doing that kind of writing, or they're writing about how a character might feel.
Genuinely, at 9 years old, because they'd been read a story when they were 5, and within the story, the moon was made of cheese.
We are over to the lesson time and say, the first person choose. Look for these workshops summary, maybe like yesterday. We're not need what's happened with this, and I try to describe the technicalities of this. This is the questions that you have in your app. The idea that is this question in your mind.
To contact me, that would be very exciting, and if we can get some links moving forward, that would be a really good thing as well.
As I said, I wonder how many teacher training students from here might be able to come and work in your schools.
Theatre as well. So Rachel and Jose are going to be doing some interactive poll questions at the end, so you can interact with it on this website.
We are from different 6 countries, and these countries, they are invited to the project because in these 6 countries there are different ways of working with education.
And how you will measure the impact and what the impact is. So that for interesting people like Ofsted coming through your door, you can stand by what you are doing in your school. But you do need to be aware that if you change one aspect of your curriculum, it will affect another aspect.
Assessment, and don't change the grouping, it's not work. It's very important that you think about this question.
Are the ones that are willing to take risks. They know the talents of their staff members. They know the needs of their local community and adapt their curriculums accordingly.